Hi, Dr. Dina again, and it's February 12th. This is the second video today because James asked a question and I didn't see it when I was doing my first video on bioenergetics, some exercises and acupuncture points that you can apply pressure to stimulate, to balance your mind and your body, your root and your crown, to help integrate, release pain and trauma from your structure. So that was the video I just did. And James had asked about sleep and sleep posture. So I'll give you my thoughts on that. First, I have to say I'm no longer a practicing licensed chiropractor. My license was suspended for talking about the dangers of the shots. So I'm not holding myself out as a chiropractor. I'm just sharing with you the information that I've gathered over my time of being a chiropractor for 23 years, and also what I've learned from patients and clients over that time, and putting together anatomy, chiropractic, yoga, and talking about sleep and sleep posture in that regard. So again, these are my own personal philosophies. They're not representing any sort of association of any sort, so take it for what it's worth to you. But I often get asked about sleep and sleep postures, pillows and mattresses, and I would just say finding a position that doesn't cause you pain is probably a very basic piece of advice, right? If something's painful, it's probably not good for you. And we're all different, so there's not going to be one posture that's going to be perfect for everybody, depending on what's happening with you and your structure. If you're pregnant, for example, you can't lie on your belly. Or if you're a man who looks like he's pregnant, you can't lie on your belly. You know, there'll be different recommendations for different people. I would encourage you to check with your chiropractor who knows your particular spine and your condition, who can advise you more specifically. But I'll give you a few baseline recommendations. But first, before I do that, I have to give you a little bit of anatomy. So as I said in that earlier video today, the curves in your spine are like coils in a spring. They help dissipate the forces equally over your spine. Just as you're sitting at a computer and you're in kind of a text neck position, if you're leaning forward, you're putting undue stresses onto your spine, right? Your central nervous system, and you're working from your primitive brain. So the curves in your spine are there to keep your central nervous system in less tension, let's say. As soon as you pull forward, you're tightening that cord. So here the cord's loose, here the cord is tense. Same thing when you're in a supine position, right? So again, I don't know why I didn't do this before, but imagine that the brain and the spinal cord, right, is connected to your brain, and this cord goes all the way down your back. So when you're in a neutral position, right, ear over your shoulder, shoulder over your hip, palate over your pelvis, there's a looseness, let's say. There's some give in that spinal cord. When you go forward and you're pulling, whether it's sitting or you're in a flexed fetal position, there's tension along that cord. So I particularly, that flex position is okay for short periods, but not when you're sleeping. And patients over the years that I've seen that sleep in that forward in a kind of a flex position, whether it's on the side, on their stomach, on their back. On their back's harder to kind of go into the flex position, but it tightens your front body. It's often a position that you'll go into if you're traumatized in some way, or if you're cold or you're stressed, right? You want to kind of go into that flex position, but it's not good to be there for most of the night because of all the same problems that I mentioned before: undue stresses on the joints, the ligaments, tendons, soft tissue structures. Also, when your hands, I see a number of people that will sleep with their hands like this. And then it gives them carpal tunnel type symptoms, right? Numbness and tingling into your hands. So you want to keep your hands relaxed. So basically, your body in a sleeping position should be in a neutral position with the curves supported. So if you're having it into your head carriage, is going to be difficult for you to lie on your back. You should be able to lie on your back without a problem, right? But if you are like this and you have a thoracic kyphosis, then you won't be able to get your head back to lie straight on your back. If you're in a neutral position, you should be able to lie on your back, and all you need is a pillow underneath your neck to support your head. Otherwise, if you have a big pillow on your under your head and you're on your back, you're actually pushing your head forward into that anterior head carriage position. So I really like a feather pillow or something that you can mold to the shape of your neck, depending on what position you're in, and sleeping in different positions. So sleeping on your side with a pillow between your knees, right? Not in a curled up position. Oh, I'm gonna have to try to change this again, but having a pillow between your knees so your hips don't roll forward and create a twist in your back, right? Keeps your hips and your pelvis in neutral. And then having the pillow so that it is underneath, supporting your neck, so that when you're on your side, your nose and your chin and your sternum are in a straight line. If the pillow is too high, right, you'll be out of alignment, or if your pillow is too low, you're out of alignment this way. So having somebody look at you when you're on your side and making sure your nose and your chin and your sternum are in a straight line and your knees are supported if you're on your side. Again, you're not curved forward, right? You're trying to open up your front body. If you're on your back, again, see, I can lie on my back and my head is straight, so really all I need is a little pillow underneath my neck. But if you have anterior head carriage, you'll perhaps need a pillow. But if I lie on my back, all I need is that pillow underneath my neck. And you may even want, in the sound baths I do, I put a little roll underneath the lower back to support the lumbar curve. You may need a pillow underneath your knees. And then lying on your stomach. I know there's lots of different literature that says don't lie on your stomach, but I love it. And I think it's healthy because it actually helps you open up your front body. And if you know the yoga gecko position, have the pillow so it's supporting your chest and tucking it underneath your neck, and your leg is kind of out to the side. Okay, so you're kind of like in this position, but on your stomach. So I don't know if I can get down here. Wait, James, this is for you. But you're holding your pillow underneath your neck. Your leg is coming forward, okay, and your neck is supported. So you're sort of, your chest is supported, but see the curves in my neck, right, are supported, and your head is turned a little bit to the side, but you'd have to do the same on the other side. So having your curves supported when you're lying down is just as important as having them supported when you're standing up is the bottom line. And finding a position that is going to be best for your particular circumstance. So this is what I would hear a lot. Well, as soon as someone says, oh, you're a chiropractor? Well, I had sciatica. Well, sciatica just means leg pain, right? It's not a diagnosis. So sciatica can come from the sacroiliac joints. Sciatica could come from a facet joint subluxation. It could come from a disc injury, the disc being the jelly donut in between, leaning on the nerve. It could come from the piriformis muscle that is over top of the sciatic nerve as it comes out through your buttocks. So sciatica just means leg pain. It doesn't say where it's coming from. So if you're somebody who has a posterior disc herniation, for example, lying on your stomach is probably going to be really painful for you. If it's an anterior herniation, lying on your stomach is probably helpful, right? If you have a sciatic type pain or the piriformis muscles tight, lying on your side with your knee up is going to create more of a spasm into that piriformis and might make the sciatica worse. So you see, there's not one exercise. If there's somebody gives you one exercise and said, this is going to cure back pain, they're really not telling you the truth because the exercise and the position really depends on you and your problem. So what I would say is first find a comfortable position. It's not painful. Make sure your curves are supported. That would be the second. Having a medium firmness mattress is what the literature says. Years ago, I did a show called Health Matters with Normalie McLeod, and we talked about pillows and beds. And we actually were in a bedroom doing the set. It was kind of neat. But the firm mattress or medium firmness, because you want it to hold yourself. You don't want the spine to kind of sink down into the mattress. And the same with the pillows. The more moldable the pillows, and you can buy pillows that have, you know, a curved cervical curve. And that works if you can get a pillow to specifically fit your shaped neck. But again, we're all different. So a pillow that supports your particular shape is what I'd recommend. So we talked about the position, the pillows, and the mattress. Any other questions? Hi Sharon, you're the only one here. Oh, maybe I'll delete it. I thought James was going to be here. No, I hope maybe it's helpful for you, Sharon. Okay, so if you have any other questions or comments, feel free to put them in here. Again, I'm speaking to you as a retired chiropractor. I'm not giving you any medical advice. I'd invite you to speak to your chiropractor to know what exercises are best for you based on your particular medical condition. But go out there and sleep well. Sweet dreams. Reach for the stars. Envision and achieve your personal best. And most of all, enjoy the journey. This is Dr. Dina signing out.